All right, good afternoon, Arkansas. This is Assistant Chief Forecaster coming back here once again. I'm here to give you guys a live winter weather update on what to expect as we get towards tomorrow here. So, as you guys can see, we have the winter weather advisory across northern Arkansas and then a winter storm watch for much of northern and northeastern Arkansas here. Now, a lot of people are seeing this map, and we've had a lot of questions over the last couple of hours about, is my area going to see this? Is my area going to see that? Just because you're not under a winter storm watch or any kind of alert right now doesn't mean that you're not going to see winter weather here in the natural state. It just means that it's for travel impacts here. So you can still see winter weather. There's been plenty of times where we've had winter weather occur and there's no advisory or no watch or no warning or anything else. So don't get discouraged by these winter storm watches or anything like that, guys. It's just for travel purposes here. So you can see northern northeastern Arkansas is under the watch. Northwest Arkansas is under the advisory here. I fully anticipate these watches to be expanded to include more counties as we get towards later this evening, into the night tonight, and into the early part of your tomorrow morning here. So I know the majority of everybody's here trying to figure out what's going on. Everybody's been hearing different things here. We have not changed our tune in Arkansas Weather Watchers. We don't go off of just guidance or anything like that. We put a forecast out and we try to hone to that forecast to the best of our abilities here. So I'm going to get to your questions in just a bit. I know there's a lot of questions coming in right now. I've got over almost 1,000 people on this live stream right now. So I'll get to you guys' questions as quickly as I can here. If you don't have sound, you may have to back out of the live stream and come back in here. So that's the current advisories right now across the natural state. So I said before, expect these watches to be extended further into the state as we get towards later this afternoon, to this evening, and into tonight here. Now, this is what everybody's here for, is the accumulation map here. Now, this is updated at 8:30. Thinking still remains the same here. I mean, I'm going to have another update probably around 4 or 5 o'clock this evening with this map, but it's little to no changes with this map here. We're still thinking 3 to 6 inches of snow from the metro to northeastern Arkansas to eastern Arkansas. I'm getting kind of concerned about some heavy banding of snowfall over there in northeastern Arkansas. I'm going to talk about that here in a bit. The higher elevations of western Arkansas, northern Arkansas, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Could be some locally higher amounts the higher you go up into the elevation here. The River Valley region right now, we've gone 2 to 3. Still awaits to be seen on that. Guidance has been kind of back and forth on all that, but I think a good 2 to 3 inches of snow is still pretty good in those areas here. And then back to western Arkansas, still 2 to 3 out there. Now, the notable change with this accumulation map is the half an inch to up to 2 inches of snow in southern Arkansas, and that's because of the fact that guidance has been trending further to the south and west with this system here. So it's including more of southern Arkansas now than it was before. Remember, yesterday I had a trace to a half an inch down there, and now it's a half an inch to an inch. In some cases, up to 2 inches of snow the further north you go into south central Arkansas here. So this is what we got at this point. And I'm just going to talk about this briefly because we've had this farm this morning. Negative comments, etc. It's going to end with a block here. Now, I want to talk about that for a bit because I know there's some folks out there that are skeptical or new here in Arkansas Weather Watchers. They don't know how we play the game here in Arkansas Weather Watchers here. So, me and Derek both, we sit down, we collaborate our thoughts, look at guidance, we go off experience as well, and we come up with these maps here. And you notice something when we come up with these maps is you have little to no changes unless it's something majorly that happens. You have little to no changes with these maps because we don't believe in changing with guidance. We don't change with guidance. Guidance is known to change left and right every 5 seconds. We go off of what the trends are. We have to have more than one run of the GFS or the Euro or anything like that before we completely change our graphics. So that's why people are like asking like why we're saying this and the others are saying that. It's because we don't change our stuff per guidance. We change it off of trends. We wait and see, okay, at the end of the day, GFS is here, let's kind of trend our maps this way here, stuff like that. So throughout the day, you don't see those many changes with our maps here. So that's why everybody's kind of wondering on that right now. So at the moment, I'm going to go over the Euro here in just a bit. Jason Hampton, 24 hours until the event. Euro has a half an inch of area. My GFS has a foot here. So, yeah, man, guidance is all over the place. I mean, all over the place with accumulations, and we're less than 24 hours away from this event occurring. So that tells you why you don't want to go strictly off of guidance. It's experience, it's what your setup looks like, etc. So as said before, this is your statewide precipitation map for during the day. Now, this may change a little bit. It just depends on overall timing right now. But I have snow for much of western and northern Arkansas and higher elevations, and then I have rain, rain to snow for central into northeastern Arkansas, and then I have a cold rain down the south. That remains to be seen. We have to see what temperatures are going to look like first thing in the morning, because some guidance is suggesting an earlier start with the snow. Some guidance is suggesting a late start to the snow. So it's a wait and see right now. I think rain to snow is a better call. And then down in southern Arkansas, the cold rain at this point. But keep in mind, this is during the day. This is not for the entire event. This is during the day at this point here. Now, during the overnight hours, during the evening into the overnight hours here, as you saw earlier, much of Arkansas seeing snow. Then you have your heavy snow across eastern, northeastern Arkansas into central Arkansas. Something about that I-40, that 167 corridor from Little Rock to Jonesboro to Memphis that's the area that I'm watching very, very closely at this point. Right now, guidance has been kind of back and forth between, like Jason Hampton said, from either a half an inch of snow to a foot. So it's back and forth right now with accumulations here. But something about that area over there in northeastern Arkansas and east central Arkansas, that's going to have to be watched as we get towards tomorrow night and early part of Sunday morning here. Now, the rest of the state should transition over to snow. Some of the snow could be heavy in times in areas, especially in higher elevations. And then you have breezy conditions on top of this as well. Now, I do not think this is going to be any sort of blizzard condition here in Arkansas, but I cannot rule out 20, 25, upwards to 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts as we get towards tomorrow night and early part of your Sunday morning. Far as southeast Arkansas, it will depend on how fast you transition over. I still think you may have some rain ongoing down there and far as southeastern Arkansas during the first half of the evening hours tomorrow night, and then you should transition over to all snow as we get towards tomorrow night into the early part of your Sunday morning, and it should be completely out of here by the time we get towards Sunday morning here. So bear with me for just a bit. I'm going to double check and make sure I have the timing on here, and I do not. So bear with me for just a bit. While I have that coming up, I'm going to answer some questions here because I know everyone was asking about what's going on here. So I'm liking the NAM. Allison, I haven't even looked at the NAM yet. It's about 123. The 18Z is supposed to come out here in just a bit. But let's see here. NAM 3KM is showing higher elevation, showing higher amounts than other models. NAM's a good short-term model. Yes, it is. But like I said before, I don't go off of just computer model guidance here because of the fact that computer model guidance can burn you at any moment. So this is the timing here. So timing's now up from 9 a.m. from northern and western Arkansas. Keep in mind, timing is very, very uncertain at this point. This is going to be changed a lot over the next couple of hours here. Central, noon to 6 p.m. for the start. I think by the time we get towards first thing Sunday morning, it should be completely out of here. But this is for start time, so these are the folks that have travel plans tomorrow or anything, trying to figure out when is the precipitation is going to start coming in here. So the closer you are to that line, the first line up here towards Russellville, that's close to 12. And then down here in southern Arkansas, it's going to be close to 6 p.m. And then for southern Arkansas, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow night here as we get towards that point here. So it's still a wait and see what timing, still a little bit uncertain at this point here. But I just wanted to get that first look out so you guys have at least a little bit of a realization of what we're looking at for the potential timing for tomorrow here. So that is all I got at this point in terms of our graphics. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to computer model guidance. And you guys don't know, when we jump into computer model guidance, we go into the Q&A here. So bear with me for just a bit. I'm going to switch this over. So now we're at the HR here. So I'm going to show you guys the HR. The 18Z is now out. I don't know how far it's out to at this point, but we'll look at it here. But while I'm doing that, I'll answer some questions here. So Russellville, I've gone over your area. There is a chance of seeing snow across the area as we get towards tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Now, I want to stress about the River Valley region because I know a lot of people see that 2 to 3, while others are saying, you know, ½ inch of snow or inch of snow. The Valley region right now is a very tricky forecast. Some folks may get very lucky and some folks may not. That's why I'm saying you may have to tweak that accumulation map just a little bit to account for the valley areas, but it's a wait and see at this point. I want to see what trends are going to do this afternoon and this evening before I make a call like that. So, Jasper, I've gone over timing. If you guys need timing information, etc., don't rely on just a live stream. It's on the page as well here. So, I like the 12Z NAM. I'm going to go over that here in just a bit, but I want to look at the 18Z HR, and the HR is, first of all, starting off in western Arkansas once again. It's about 24 hours out, so I have to wait for a little bit more to come in. But you can see your upper level lows back out here towards the west, and then your surface low is in northeastern Louisiana. That's another difference that I'm seeing with computer model guidance today is your surface low is about 50 to 100 miles south than it was yesterday. So that's why southern Arkansas, your accumulation totals have gone up. It's because everything has started to trend further south with this here. So while we're waiting on the 18Z HR, let's talk about the NAM real quick. So this is the kilometer to 3 kilometer NAM, and I'm gonna go over this for just a bit. All right, so this is Saturday morning. As you can see over there in western Arkansas, I'm gonna go to the Arkansas map real quickly here. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So this is the Arkansas map real quick. You can see the higher elevation starting off changing the snow first thing in the morning. So just kind of keep that in mind. Timing may still need to be tweaked a little bit to account for this, but we'll still wait and see at this point. But you can see what happens by the time we get towards 3 p.m. Northern Arkansas is getting a good amount of snow. Southern Arkansas and Central still rain for now, but I think the high risk NIM, that's another problem I'm having with guidance right now, is that the 540 line is going to be the question between rain and snow. So it's going to be, you may have temperatures 38, 39, 40 degrees, and you have a mix of rain and snow behind the 540 line. So I don't think guidance is doing a good job of picking that up. We'll have to wait and see on what happens over the next couple of hours as we get more data in. But you can see what happens by the time we get towards that 5, 6 o'clock time frame. Central Arkansas is transitioning over. Northern Arkansas, you're seeing heavy snow. Southern Arkansas, this is what I'm saying, Southern Arkansas, you're not out of the cards yet either. You have snow going on down there as well. And then what the NAM does is very beautiful. And a lot of people, when they're talking about the NAM, I see what they're talking about. So it's very, very beautiful with the snowfall across northern Arkansas, down into central and southwestern Arkansas here. And then southeast Arkansas still remains, so what our map is right now, rain to snow later in the evening and into the overnight hours of your Saturday here. And you can see what happens. And that's what I'm talking about before. The high-risk NAM is doing what I'm saying that it may be trying to do, that the Little Rock to Jonesboro to Memphis corridor, this heavier band right in here that you're going to have to watch very closely here. And I think somewhere in that area, you may see a 4, 5, 6 inch total in that corridor from Little Rock, that 167 Interstate 40 corridor from Little Rock to Memphis up to Jonesboro. That's the area of concern that I have right now. We'll just have to wait and see what guidance does in terms of positioning, where the heaviest axis is going to be, etc. But that's something that we're going to watch very closely over the next couple hours here. But the NAM is doing a wonderful job in picking up not only the cold air, but the remnant moisture that's left as well, because you still have snow flurries going on across western Arkansas as we get towards late Saturday night and the early Sunday morning here. And then by the time we get towards first thing Sunday morning, don't be shocked if you still have flurries ongoing across Arkansas. And then it gets it out of here by the time we get towards Sunday night in the early part of your Monday morning. And then there's going to be another system that we'll watch. Right now, guidance takes it northeast of Arkansas, but I can't rule out maybe some flurries across far northeastern Arkansas as we get towards Monday. Still remains to be seen. I think that system is going to be very, very moisture starved at this point here. So power outage risk right now, it still remains to be seen at this point here. Now, another thing that I have concerns with, I'm going to go to dew points real fast. I'm going to back this up and show you guys what I mean. So dew points are going to be 32 to 33 degrees. And whenever you get precipitation falling into the dew points like that, basically what happens is what's called evaporational cooling. And when your surface temperatures, let's see your surface temperatures real quick. So you're at 34, 35 degrees, and your dew point's 32, and you got precipitation falling. Basically, your dew point and your temperatures are going to match until they're basically the same. If your dew point's 32 and your temperature's 35, you got precipitation falling, evaporational cooling takes place, you fall from 35 to 32. That's what I'm worried about right now across Arkansas, is that if your dew points are a lot lower than expected, evaporational cooling takes place, and you get a higher snow total across the area because your temperatures will start falling and you start talking more impacts across Arkansas. So right now it still remains to be seen on what happens with that. I think a better call will be 32 to 34 degrees, but still remains to be seen here. Guidance is still trying to do a decent job with temperatures at this point here. Guys, if you're just now tuning in, all the information's on the page. You're not missing anything with the live stream. If you miss anything, you can go back and rewind at the beginning of the live stream here. But all the information is on the page. If you're new here, leave us a like, a follow. It really helps out with the page, guys. This is what we do, and this is why we're here. So let me go over everything real fast. Do I need to get a loaf of bread? I honestly, yeah, it wouldn't hurt at this point. Especially across northern Arkansas, northeast Arkansas. Thank you for reminding me about that. I was supposed to be doing a bread and milk graphic this morning, but I got completely sidetracked. So Michael, still liking the idea of thunder snow across northeastern Arkansas here. Now, I'm gonna take a look at something real quickly, and this is something that we look at severe weather, but I'm looking at your instability right now here, and it's looking around that 3 to 5 range here. Now you're thinking that's basically nothing, right? Well, basically for thunder, that's all you need. It's just maybe 1-2 joules of cape across the area. So we'll watch that close, that corridor, wherever that convective band sets up. That's something that we're going to watch closely as we get towards tomorrow evening and tomorrow night here. But right there, and I would say from Little Rock to Jonesboro to Memphis, that corridor that I'm watching very close, and I may add that with the precipitation map later on this evening here. And that's that corridor that I'm watching very closely as we get towards this evening here. Now, let me see before. Let me see here. Let's commit to supporting. Appreciate you guys for doing that, by the way. And another thing is, we're not forcing anybody to donate or anything like that. We do this out of sheer pleasure. We do this to keep you guys informed on the latest. So we don't ask for you guys to do this or do that. We just have that just because a lot of people request it. So let me see here. What timing? Timing's on the page, by the way. I'll go back over that here in just a bit. If you guys got any questions, please let me know. It's going to be kind of a somewhat quick live stream today, kind of reiterating everything that's going over here, but it's nothing major that's happened across our area here. So your forecast calls more snowfall than the others. Why? I hope you're right. Derek, the reason why is because of the fact that I'm taking advantage of the environment. It's not simply what guidance is doing, it's simply what the environment is capable of doing and with your pattern in place. You have a strong upper level low. Your dry slotting is going to be south of Arkansas. You've got northeast winds, which is going to make your temperatures bust. And you have everything in place for the potential of seeing snow, potentially heavy snow in some places. So the amounts you're seeing is not guidance. It's not guidance at all. It's experience, it's past events that we have been burned on because we've gone too low and something happened. And also, it's the environment. It's what we're dealing with. It's to set up the game plan on what we're looking at here. That's why you see the accumulation somewhat higher than other people right now here, because some have a completely different thinking than us here in Arkansas Little Watchers. So, not really related. Yeah, Derek's doing fine, by the way. He will be back this evening. He got that taken care of. He's perfectly good to go with that. So let me see before going over everything right now. Let me see here. What do you think the high temperatures on Saturday will be? Let's talk about that real quick in here. Now, temperatures tomorrow are going to be up there. I'm thinking, especially early in the day, some folks may make a run for 50 degrees, but you're going to tank very, very quickly. If you go with the high-res NEM, I really think the high-res NEM is doing a beautiful job with this system. I think it's doing a wonderful job with this system right now. But you can see what happens is your cold air starts coming in, northwest winds come in. That's going to be a game plan right there for southern Arkansas is northwest winds. That's going to force the cold air down into southern Arkansas faster. And you guys may see snow in southern and southwest Arkansas before areas in eastern and northeastern Arkansas do, because you fall into the 30s before they do because of northwest winds coming in. So that's something we're going to watch closely down here in southern Arkansas. I may have to bump those accumulations up a little bit down there to account for the cool down faster over here in southern Arkansas, but you can see what happens by the time we get towards late Saturday and Saturday night, temperatures begin to fall very quickly. Now you see here this tongue of warm air coming in. This is what we call warm air aloft. And this is something that we got to watch as well, especially for eastern Arkansas, because of the fact that you may transition to snow very late in the Saturday night and early Sunday morning instead of early. So we're going to watch that close. And also that band across Central Arkansas, we're going to watch that close as well. It just depends on what happens as we get towards tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Now, HRR, give me 1 second here. Let me see here, going over everything right now. Let's see, HR. Let's go ahead and refresh this real fast. Let's see what it has real quick. Because the 18C is just now coming out. That's why I went live at 1 o'clock, by the way, so you guys see the afternoon data. And HR is doing exactly what the high-risk dam was wanting to do. Basically the same. Western Arkansas, you transition over here pretty quickly. Now, ignore the rain over here across eastern Arkansas here in Civil Ford. You're going to transition over. But the problem I have right now is I'm starting to notice this across northern Arkansas. You're starting to get cut off. That is a concern of mine, especially across northern and far northern northeastern Arkansas. That's something I'm going to watch. I told you guys, me and Darren talked about this briefly yesterday, that guidance was going to be waiting to see if this system goes too far south, then you're going to introduce dry air into northern Arkansas, and then you're going to bust on the accumulations up there. So that's something I'm going to watch. Right now, guidance is back and forth on that dry sliding up there in northern Arkansas, but it's still a wait and see. This may end up, don't be shocked, it just ends up being a central, eastern, and southern Arkansas event. Northern Arkansas, I'm not ruling you out right now. I think you're still good to go up there in northern Arkansas, but it's something that I'm going to watch closely this evening into the overnight here. But I think northern Arkansas at this point is still good to go. But right now it's something we're going to watch. And yeah, you can see the western trend, Cody. That's what I've been talking about. And that western trend is going to help us. That's something that you need with the upper level low. You need it to go west and then dip south into our area, because if it trends a little further east and east, it's going to force the precipitation out quicker, and then Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee is going to still show. So you need this to be as far west as it could possibly get here. So timing right now, Saturday and Sunday, if you need timing map right now, it's going to be at the bottom of this live stream here. It's all on the page, guys. I promise you. But it's something that we're going to watch very closely. Now, let me see here. Can you look in the future to tell if we'll get a blizzard like we did last year? Folks, I don't think this is going to be a blizzard by any stretch of the matter. There's going to be gusty winds, 20 to 25 miles per hour, maybe as high as 30. But I don't think it's going to be a blizzard. Now, if you go high-res NAM, different story, but we'll see. We'll see with that right now. I think NAM is a little bit aggressive with the wind profiles right now here. So let me see here. Let's go to HR. Let's talk about that real quick. And this is at 33 hours out. So, okay. So that's what it's doing. Allison, you're going to hate the HR. You're going to hate the HR. Northern Arkansas. Oh, boy. I have seen this set up so many times. It's not even funny. I've seen this set up so many times. We'll wait and see. It's one model. I don't want to base the HR, but boy, does it hate Northern. HR does not like Northern Arkansas. It just does not like Northern Arkansas. It's more of a Central and South Arkansas deal. And I believe the reason why for that, and I'm going to double check something real quick. Let's go your 500 millibar real quick. That's why. That's why it's cutting off Northern Arkansas. Your upper level low is in Central Louisiana. So that's why it's starting to cut off Northern Arkansas. That's something that I'm gonna watch with the HR. Oh boy, that's interesting. Now, if you're in Central Arkansas, that's your best case scenario. That triples your snow accumulations here, because your upper level low dips into Louisiana instead of Southern Arkansas. For it to be the entire state, you need this to ride the Arkansas-Louisiana border or North Louisiana. Okay, that's how you're going to get this for the entire state. If it goes into Central Louisiana, you're going to start cutting off Northern Arkansas, because the dry air starting to come into northwestern Arkansas. So you'll watch that close up there. Like I said, one model. You're going to have to give me one. You're going to have to give me more than one model before I make my decision up here in Northern Arkansas. So we're still good to go at this point here. But I'm going to zoom this out so you guys can see, so it's not so clouded on the screen here. But there it is right there. So you can see the upper level low. It's a beast, first of all. A beast of an upper level low coming through north central Louisiana, central Louisiana. And I'm going to tell you guys this right now. If this was in spring and you had the instability in place, if you were out in Mississippi and Alabama, this would be an outbreak out there right now. A very powerful upper level low, 100-knot jet. Winds coming out of the southeast over there. It's a perfect setup, but you don't have the instability over there right now. So this system is a powerhouse. Luckily, we don't have the instability in place because these systems, especially in the wintertime, are known for big-time winter weather events, and are also known for big-time severe events as well here. But fortunately for us, we don't have the instability at this point. We got cold air in place, so that's what we're going to get with this. So BRB getting milk and cookies, guys. Oh boy, I don't even want to be at the grocery store right now. I can see it now. But let me see here. Critton County, how much are we expecting? The accumulation map is on the page here, but I want to talk about northern Arkansas, northeast Arkansas for a bit, because as I said before, right now it's still a wait and see. Robbie, I'm going to address that comment. It will not be all rain. I'm going to also tell you guys this: if you don't believe us, that's fine. Me and Derek both strive on proving people wrong. It's not going to be all rain. I'm really confident this is going to be snow at this point. You may start off as rain, but it's going to be snow here. But with that being said, I said before, we're watching that upper level low real closely, but you can see what it does. It sends it from Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas through Louisiana. Now, let's talk about Euro for a bit. Okay, so here's Euro at this point, and it's south too, but it's not as south as the HR is. It sends it through North Louisiana and into southern Arkansas, so it still includes northern Arkansas at this point here. But you guys are on the teeter top right there. It's a very, 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 very close call up there in northern Arkansas. You do not need this thing to go further south if you live in northern Arkansas. Now, if you're in central and south, then you can afford a central Arkansas track with this here, but that's something that we're going to watch closer here. Just a wait and see on everything at this point here. So let me go over to the accumulations real quickly here, and you can see what I'm talking about. Not accumulations, preset map real quickly here. You can see what I'm talking about. So your upper level low goes through North Louisiana, and it has Arkansas seeing a good amount of snow with this. So that's something we're going to watch closely. I think the European models and the high-risk NIM is doing a wonderful job with this system. And also, one more thing. So, remember yesterday, the GFS, and I told you guys about the GFS, and I said the GFS was too far north. This is what now the GFS has. The bottom one was, I'm going to talk about early next week in just a bit, but let's go to GFS real quickly here. So, I'm going to go back here to Saturday afternoon. There it is. GFS is now south. It caved to the Euro. That's why we tell you guys all the time, if you see the GFS or anything like that that's against one model, it's too far north, give it time. It'll get there. And that's GFS now. It has the upper level low going through North Louisiana, all snow across Arkansas, and it has that heavier band that I'm watching from Little Rock to Memphis to Jonesboro. That's the area of concern that I have at this point. And you may see that with the accumulation map coming out here in just a bit. So, let me see here. What about Independence County? Same thing, guys. As I said before, do not rely on just this live stream. We have all the information you need on the page as well. It's at the bottom of this live stream, guys. All the information, the timing, accumulation maps, the impacts, etc. It's all in that post under this live stream here. This is just kind of reiterating everything what's going on here. So, good question, Cassidy. Do you expect the winter storm watch to be extended further south? Yes. At this point, I do expect it to be further south at this point because of the fact that you're starting to see agreement on the southern trend. I'm starting to see agreement on the southern trend with the upper level low coming through Oklahoma, Texas, and North Louisiana. So I fully expect those winter storm watches to come further south here. Now, here's the thing, and I have seen this before. Sometimes you go from nothing to a winter storm warning, especially when it's this close in range. So don't be shocked with that as well. Some folks may completely skip over the watch and go straight to a warning. So it just depends on what happens here. The watch right now is just mean they're watching the area for the potential winter storm. It's not a guarantee, but it's greater than a 50% shot of seeing it. So that's something that we're watching. However, as I said before, something that we're gonna keep an eye on here. So the winter storm watch, yeah, they're on the storm watch up there in White County, Cersei. So before, we're gonna watch it closely. But I wouldn't be shocked in some areas by the time we get towards tonight, upgrade it to a winter storm warning in those areas here. So 18 NEM's now coming out, and we'll go over that here in just a bit. How long is the snow is gonna hang around? It's gonna hang around till Sunday morning. Some guys just wanting to take this out all the way to almost midday Sunday, but I think it should be out of here by the time we get towards Sunday morning. There could be some lingering flurries across eastern Arkansas by that point here. Cabot's looking good for snow. Central Arkansas, you're looking good for snow as well. Let me see here. Somebody said that it was going to be. So Central Arkansas is worse than North Arkansas up in Missouri. Local television is saying all rain in southern Missouri. That is a no. That is a big no. Southern Missouri is going to get snow. I'm 100% confident you're going to see snow up there in southern Missouri. You may see a little bit of rain on onset, but you're going to see snow up there in southern Missouri. I'm definitely disagreeing with that one here. So let me see here. Give me 1 second. All right. That's much better. That is much better. I was trying to talk without having a spray here, but that is much better here. So what are the chances of stalling out over Arkansas? Michael, not a good shot. I think this is going to be a semi-progressive system. Should be out of here by the time we get towards first thing Sunday morning. So I don't think it's going to start. Now, I've seen this before. Last second where this thing just stalls out and just blasts Arkansas with a foot of snow. I've seen that happen before too. So that'll be what's called a nowcast situation. So we'll watch that closely at this point, but I don't think it's going to stall out. I think it's going to be out and pretty quickly here. So I'll have to slap that meteorologist in Missouri. I said before, guys, I think there's going to be rain on onset, but it should transition over to snow. There's just too much cold air aloft for this thing to be an all-rain event. I just think there's too much cold air aloft up there, especially up there in southern Missouri, man. That was a mind-blowing one right there. So came in late, told us from northern Arkansas. Melissa, check out the post below. All the information is there, but I will go over accumulations here just a bit as well here. The February outcast, that's when we got the big winter storm in February here. I have to go back and see if I have radar data from that February event. I think I do, but I'll double check it. If that's something that everybody wants to see, then I can work on getting that up and kind of doing a comparison on Sunday to see how it did with this. But I seriously don't think it's going to match up. I think this event's going to be a lot less than what it was back in February here. Now, keep in mind, it's not going to be the only event. I'm going to go over that here in just a bit. This is not going to be the only event I'm watching as well. So, let's see. 4, Arkansas said the same thing. What about Independence? I'm thinking 3 to 6 right now. Rain in the morning, change to snow. Allison, great comment. Southern Arkansas. Right now, wait and see. My problem with South Arkansas at this point, I'm going to see about getting my pen up and getting that drawn out for you guys. Also, do me a favor, everybody, because I know everybody's kind of wondering what's going on. Tag your friends and family in this live stream. That way, they're not missing anything. Tag them in this live stream. If they're needing information, they're not getting information about it, tag them, bring them here. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can right now for everybody. So let me see here. Southern Arkansas, I was getting to that real quick. So I'm going to go back to the high-risk NAM here. And I said before, I think the high-risk NAM is doing a wonderful job in depending on the upper-level setup with this. So basically, Southern Arkansas, something you got to watch here. So your surface low comes through tomorrow morning. That's where you get rain transitioning over to snow. But the problem is your upper level low back out here is going to do this. Okay? So that forces northwesterly winds into southern Arkansas. Okay? Basically what that does is all this cold air here gets transitioned down into southern Arkansas. As I was saying before, don't be shocked by tomorrow night or something like that. Well, not tomorrow night. First thing tomorrow evening, if southern Arkansas is getting snow, and Northeast Arkansas is stuck in rain. So don't be shocked on that. I think everybody will transition over to snow at some point. It's just some folks are going to transition quicker, and some folks are going to transition a lot later. And I know we're going to get to tomorrow. A lot of people are going to be complaining because it's raining, raining, raining. Everybody else is getting snow. I want to make this perfectly clear. Some folks are going to transition quicker. Some folks are going to transition a lot later. Keep that in mind for tomorrow, okay? I do not mind answering questions, but if it's a question like that, I'm going to tell you the same thing I'm telling you now. Some folks are going to transition a lot quicker. Some folks are going to transition a lot later. Everybody will transition over. It's just a timing difference right now. When does the cold air get here for your area, etc.? It's going to be different for everybody. I promise you, it's going to be different for everybody. Some folks are going to see a lot of snow. Some folks, it's going to be rain. Then they're going to transition to snow. So I don't think we're going to have a lot of icing problems with this as well. I had that question thrown at me earlier. Let's go over your sleet totals real quickly here, and you can see this is the which run is this? This is the 18Z, right? Let me refresh this. So that's a NAM. The NAM 18Z is now coming now. So that's the one thing I hate about Weather Bell. It transitions over to 18Z when I don't want it to. So let's go to 12Z real quick. Let's go back to it, and that's what I'm seeing here. So you're seeing a little bit of sleet on onset. It's not going to be anything significant. Now, something I'm going to watch in Southern Arkansas. Freezing rain on onset too. Freezing rain and sleet on the ground before a heavy snow event is a worst case scenario for travel. You do not want that at all because you have a layer of ice. You saw this back in February where you had freezing rain and sleet, didn't go anywhere, and then you had snow on top of it. So the snow is going to help create what's called an ice pack on the roads and on the sidewalks there. You do not want this across western Arkansas. You don't want any kind of freezing rain or sleet, even if it's a little bit of an amount, because it's gonna get on the sidewalks, on the road. It's gonna make them moist, and that's what's gonna lead to hazardous travel conditions across this area. So I fully anticipate. I'm gonna go over this one more time. I fully anticipate everybody to see at least a watch, possibly a warning, or even an advisory by the time we get towards late tonight and into tomorrow. Timing is going to vary bigly for everybody. Some folks are going to transition early. Some folks are going to transition late. Also, I've been getting a lot of questions today about how we're different from everybody else. I'm going to explain this one more time. We do not go off of strictly guidance. This is experience. This is also the overall setup, the environment, everything that goes into those maps. That is why we are so much different than the others right now. Okay, that's why, because it's our thinking. It's not what a computer model says or what an app says or anything like that. That is our thinking. That is a handmade graphic that you're seeing. It's not anything like, a guidance or anything like that. That is handmade. That is our thoughts into that graphic. That's why it's so much different than the others. So let me see here. The snow beginning 2022. Really like I really like that. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if somebody ended up coming out of this with a foot of snow or something like that. I really wouldn't be shocked. This is how 2022 is going to go. But let's take a look at accumulation just a bit, okay? This is the high-res NAM 974. Do not take these accumulation maps seriously. You're going to see accumulation maps thrown out left and right on your news feed. It's going to be thrown out. It's typical Arkansas fashion. Everybody sees these accumulation maps and it gets shared. Do not buy these accumulation maps, okay? Right now, it is a wait and see. Now, this is what I'm saying. This is what the high-res NAM is wanting to do, okay? The River Valley. I'm gonna change the color of that real quick. I just realized my mistake. Let's change the color of that. Okay? River Valley over here. Okay? Hardly a thing at all. That's what's concerning me right now. I'm not ready to bite that, but we'll see. Northeast Arkansas. Another area that I'm getting concerned about. You do not want this low to go too far south, because that will screw North Arkansas. Okay? I do buy higher elevations up here, the 7-8 totals up here. I do buy that. We may make some tweaks with the forecasting, but we'll see. Okay, the banding from Jonesboro to the Metro into Memphis. I think the NAM is doing a little bit under with the accumulations over here in eastern Arkansas. That's something we're going to watch as well. Then southern Arkansas, down here, getting the cold air first. Seeing a good half an inch to 2 inches of snow down here in southern Arkansas. I think we had a great call this morning, increasing y'all's totals down there in southern Arkansas. So those are the areas that we're watching very closely. Those are the areas of concern at this point here. So the River Valley region will be watched, but right now it's too early to determine if you guys are going to see anything significant over there or not. It's just biggest part of being in the Valley region right now here. But you can see the multiple areas that we're watching at this point here. So what about Heber Springs? Same thing. Southern Arkansas, Jay said, yeah. Southern Arkansas is not going to get as much as Northern Arkansas, and that's a wait and see too. Because my problem with Southern Arkansas is with you guys getting that cold air first, you may see totals 2 to 3 inches down here. Don't be shocked down there in Southern Arkansas. I've seen that happen before too. Getting that cold air first is going to be your best friend, okay, in terms of accumulations. Now, the problem with South Arkansas right now, for me going 2 to 3, is that you have much warmer ground temperatures down there. Your temperatures down there are about mid to upper 50s right now. So it's going to take time for your ground temperatures to cool off enough to allow accumulation. So that's why your totals are a little lower down there in Southern Arkansas than they're in the north. But it remains to be seen because it depends on banding. Some areas that you can see down here in El Dorado, 3 inches of snow. You may get lucky and get 3 inches of snow just because you get under one of those heavy bands. So that's something that we're going to watch very closely down here in Southern Arkansas. But I think North and Central is going to be the better accumulation area because of the fact of colder ground temperatures. But don't get discouraged down there in Southern Arkansas. We're going to watch it closely. Clarendon, same thing. Name times that will be hit. Christy, that's why we have all those graphics at the bottom corner of the screen. Not on the screen, on the live stream on Facebook. That's why we have everything. So if you're new here, take a look at that. Okay, I know a lot of people tuning into this live stream that are new, don't even know about the page. Take a look at our page. Take 5 seconds to look at our page. I promise you it'll be worth it. I promise you it'll be worth it. So Conway, same thing here. Jeff, great point. Bringing pets in, checking the family, etc. I don't think it's going to be anything like February. You don't have a cold air in place. But we'll see here. So screenshot that and post it as the new graphics we're giving you with all the circles there. Yeah, I know. That's Allison, if you saw the notebook that I have, which is back in the house right now, then you would probably be really, really confused. Because I basically, what I do whenever I'm looking at everything, I draw everything out. I draw everything out like areas so like the River Valley or Northeast Arkansas or this scenario or that scenario. That's what goes on in my mind. That's what makes us a team here, is because we go over different scenarios as well. So we kind of blend that in with the graphics and everything else. So that's kind of getting into my mind in terms of forecasting this. So Jeff, thanks for the hug, brother. You got the toughest job. Yep, but somebody's got to do it, right? So, do you think we'll see more than 3 to 6 inches of snow? Kara, I hope I pronounced that name right. I apologize if I didn't. I think right now, it's a wait and see. 3 to 6 inches right now is us being conservative. It's us saying, hey, let's put the brakes on it right now. Let's see. Our rule of thumb whenever we're making accumulation maps is we typically try to go under, because of the fact that whenever you see snow, not a lot of people complain when it's overdone, when the system overproduces or overperforms. Not a lot of people complain about it. So whenever we do accumulation maps, we typically try to get it to be at least at or a little bit underdone of totals, just because we allow that wiggle room between hey, this area may see more. I don't think anybody would be complaining if we went 3 to 6 inches of snow and they got a foot of snow. I don't think anybody would be complaining about that. So that's why we do it. So warm atmosphere carries extra moisture. Great question. Yes and no. It's just because of the system. The system is so strong. Like I said before, if we have this system in April, somebody is going to be in some serious trouble. This is a system that you do not want to mess around with. And we're lucky Not lucky. Take that back. We are blessed that we do not have the instability in place, because if we got the instability in place with this system, it would be ugly. It would be a very, very, very ugly situation here, Dustin. I'm going to get on Derek for that comment for earlier. I saw that thread this morning in that chat here. So, yeah, I'm going to need a new notebook after that. Yeah, I know. I'm almost through that whole notebook here. So, no, it's not going to be a freezing rain or ice event here in Arkansas. It's just a wait and see at this point. I don't think you're going to see a lot of ice with this. You may see some on onset, but I don't think you're going to see much. I don't think you're going to see much of ice with this situation. I think it's just going to be, primarily a snow event here in Arkansas. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the 18Z. So, I have a song that I was going to sing, but I'm gonna take that back. Yeah, I was gonna go like, let's take a little trip on a little rocket ship with the 18Z. Let's take a look at it real quick. So, the 18Z is still on track with the 12Z from earlier. I'm showing it now. West Arkansas. First off, I'm not even looking at a precipitation map at this point. I'm looking at temperatures. This is temperatures tomorrow during the day. You're in the 20s in western Arkansas and 30s. You're going to have travel issues in western Arkansas if that happens. West of Arkansas, 30s, low to mid 40s, maybe a 50-degree reading in southeast Arkansas. So, off the bat, the 18Z is going to follow the 12Z. And I think we finally got a reading on what the system is going to do. I think we finally have a reading on this. Jeff, he will be here tomorrow. He had a little procedure done today. He's perfectly fine, folks. I promise you he's good. He will be back tomorrow, and I know a lot of people are going to ask us about this. Yes, we are going to make snow angels at the Weather Center if we get that kind of accumulation here in the metro, which I fully think we will. So, just based off of the temperatures right now, West Arkansas is going to be watched. Now, another thing I'm worried about, ice, especially in the valley areas. You may see a little bit of ice on the onset. So, what may happen tonight, I don't think you're going to get, I don't know if it's winter storm warning criteria. Let's talk about it. Higher elevations, we'll watch closely, but I would not be shocked to see headlines go out in western Arkansas this evening. That's just an am. It's just an am, but I like trends. That's the number one thing. When somebody comes up to me with a map, the first thing I ask them, what's the trends? I don't look at the map. I looked at what other runs had it, because if it's just one map, it's not going to make a big difference. Now, another thing is this. 1037 millibar high. That is an Arctic high coming down, too. There's a lot of cold air with this. And I think, well, another thing what's going on, the reason why you're seeing a big difference with different graphics is because I think, honestly, a lot of people are underestimating this cold air. I think there's a lot more cold air with this system than what people are originally thinking it is. So just keep that in mind. I don't think it's going to be anything, February like where we had teens and 20s, but it's a lot of cold air, more cold air than when we're expecting with this system. Surface lows here, okay, northeast Louisiana, upper level lows here. You can't mistake the upper level low, by the way. It literally looks like a bowling ball on a graphic. It literally looks like that. That tells me right there, when you see that, and go this for any future events, if you ever see an upper level low that defined, you don't even have to look at 500 millibar. That tells you right there where the upper level low is. So, kind of a little bit of a meteorological lesson right there. If you see that well defined, that's what we call a bowling ball low. It's a very powerful upper level low that's coming through here. So surface low here, upper level low here. I think we finally got a reading on this system, and that makes me excited. And it makes me think the graphics that we put out are going to verify greatly over the next day or so here. So, Shane, we are still doing it. I know a lot of people have been asking about the EWW app. It's still a work in progress at this point. Our problem is we've had so many weather events come up left and right, plus emergencies, etc. We really haven't had a lot of time to sit down and go over plans and stuff with it. We're planning on releasing it at some point this year. It's just a wait and see right now here. So Will Harrison have a winter storm warning? Right now, it's a wait and see. Very questionable call. Jared, thank you for that, by the way. Let's take a look at the Euro for a second, because I know a lot of people are seeing next week too. you go GFS. GFS, by the way, says we do this again next week, by the way. So let's see what it does. Da, 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 and there's your verdict. GFS and Euro have winter weather next weekend. We do this again with the computer model guidance here. So we'll watch it. Next week, I think you will have a lot more cold air to work with next week's system than with this week's system. We'll watch next week closely, but next week looks to be what's called a Gulf rider. Upper level low develops, sends the cold air down. Surface low develops in the northwestern Gulf. Classic setup here in Arkansas. So the Euro is not as aggressive as the GFS, but that is something that we're going to watch closely here. So there is going to be a shot of cold air, by the way. Let's talk about it real quick while we have the time. All right, temperature's going to warm up. By the way, we're getting back to 50s and 60s. Boo, right? We're down into the 60s. By the time we get towards Wednesday, we're down in the 40s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. With the front coming through, there's your cold air coming in, by the way. Daytime highs on Thursday. Go Euro, 20s and 30s. There's a significant cold air coming out as we get towards this week here. So I think you will warm up. Whatever accumulates on Sunday, unfortunately, is going to melt, and it's going to not stick around long. It should be out of here by, I say, Tuesday at the latest. And then another surge of cold air, and we do this again next weekend because temperatures are cold. Temperatures in the 30s. This is some actual cold air coming in as we get towards mid or late next week and into the next weekend here. So I'm not comfortable in putting a graphic out right now for it. I'm not, because first of all, it's a week out. I want to see what trends are going to do. Let's get past this system first, and then we'll see what happens on Monday, and then we'll go from there. So, let me see. Somebody asked about the wind. Okay, let's go to wind real quick. Let's talk about that. So, you go high risk NAM, by the way. 18Z's now coming out, so let's talk about that real quick. Getting that up real fast. 18Z NAM's now out. Okay, so what it does. Okay, so by the way, NAM is still your friend in Northern Arkansas, Allison. It's still your friend, I promise you. No, I'm not singing this. I'm not singing a song here. I've done that before. I'm not doing it again. Oh, boy. There's the name coming in. So it's basically the same for the 12Z. There's the there's North Arkansas seeing the snow. West Arkansas coming in as well. The upper level low. Very powerful with it. Transit. And then Southern Arkansas right now. What my problem with the 12 km is not as what's called mesoscale versus the high res now. So basically, what we mean by mesoscale is it's not picking up the little fine details with this system. So Southern Arkansas right now, it's a wait and see. First of all, I need to see something real quick. I want to see what it does with the dry air slotting here. Now, there's another thing. There's the reason why you've been seeing differences here. This dry air slide, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be a little bit of a joke. You get under this dry slot, you're not seeing snow. You're gonna be seeing some stars. You're gonna be seeing some stars under this dry air slot. So, fortunately for Arkansas, it misses us just to the south. South Arkansas may screw you just a little bit, but this is a significant dry slotting under this upper level low. So that's why you want this thing south of Arkansas. If it was over or north, we wouldn't be talking about a thing here in Arkansas. Okay, so that's something we're going to watch. I think the upper level low, there's a great amount of consistency that the upper level low is going to go south of Arkansas at this point, so we don't have to worry about that dry slotting. But this has been the #1 pain in the side at this point. That's what's been going on here. That's the reason why you've been seeing different guidance, because the upper level low track, and then on top of that, the dry air slotting. Okay, so we were just listed on the winter storm watch here. So Bear me for just a bit, guys. I'm double checking and making sure we are good to go here. So let me give me a bit here. So I'm going to LZK real quick, guys. This is their official website, by the way. I'm going to LZK and I'm going to see what they've done. Okay. All right, so they brought it down a little bit. Okay, so there's the winter storm watch here. There's winter weather advisory here. That was updated just recently. So, okay. So I was just double checking that real quickly here. So, oh no. Fine, 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 fine. Okay, I'll tell you this. If we get the accumulating snowfall here in Arkansas, hold me to it. But will do the song for you guys. If it'll shut y'all up, we'll do the song here. So, everybody's like, look what he started. We want a rocket song. I will do it at the same time with the Snow Angels, okay? I'll do it. I promise. I pinky promise that I'll do it. I love y'all, man. I love y'all. But let me see here. Now so are you confident, more confident in Central Arkansas getting snow? And I kill it, yes. I think finally we got a decent read on this system here. I think we got a good reading on it. Let's see what happens as we get towards tonight. But I think we finally got a good read on the system, and I think I feel confident enough to say that Central Arkansas is going to see snow with this here. So, okay, fine, fine, fine. I will do it. Jesus, y'all are so. Hey, Cameron just joined. How's Newport looking? Michael, still looking good up there in northeastern Arkansas. Right now, it's still wait and see on the track of the upper level now. Now, my thing is, with the upper level low, and this is talking off experience, the track of the upper level low is still going to be a favor, especially for Arkansas. Right now, it's the perfect track from from Kansas to Oklahoma to Texas to North Louisiana. I have seen this on day one. I've seen this happen so many times on day one where the upper level low does stupid things. It creates a track of its own. If it changes a 50-mile difference between north and south, it will make the difference on what happens here in Arkansas as we get towards tomorrow. I have seen this time and time again. That's why you do not want to go off of guys. There's great agreement. I mean, there's great agreement with the computer model guys right now. I think we've got a sample system. It's a good idea where it's going to go. My problem is this. These upper lows, especially ones this strong, is very, very tricky to forecast. One shift in your entire forecast can either sink or swim. So keep that in mind for tomorrow, guys, okay? I don't want to be out here saying I'm getting everybody's hopes up, stuff like that. I just want you guys to be aware of the potential of that happening, okay? So that's my little disclaimer at this point. And I know there's going to be somebody that's going to be on Sunday that don't get the snow, and they're going to get mad, and I'm probably going to have to deal with it. But, I mean, it is what it is. So that's the high risk now. By the way, it's 30 hours out, so don't get concerned yet. But it's first of all, it's definitely in Western Arkansas. I mean, it's sold on Western Arkansas. This has been a significant trend over the last couple of days here, where it's gone from northern, northeast to northern to northwestern. Now it's in Western Arkansas here in southern and southwest. So there's been a significant trend with the computer model guidance here over the last couple of days here, and that's just the importance of sampling with the system as well. I think we finally got a good handle on it, but now the better question is, we'll check this off, okay? We finally got a good handle on it. Now what happens on day one? This is where it starts becoming a nowcast situation, where you start looking at satellite, you start looking at real-time data versus computer model guys here. That's what separates us from everything else, guys. So can you give a brief synopsis of what was all said? I missed it. Coco, if you missed it, just either rewind the live stream or check out the page. If you missed any information, all the information you need to know is going to be on the page as well. So go blow up that that post where it has all the accumulation and stuff on there. All your information is on there right now, and I don't think I'm going to be making any tweaks to the forecast here. I'm pretty confident that we've got a game plan at this point here. So let me see here. Okay, give me 1 second here. All right, let's see here. Going over everything here. So, well, these guys are so great. The viewer count, yeah, Yep, I know. Let's do it for. I pinky promise. If we get it here in the metro, you will get the rocket ship show along with the snow angels. Okay, I promise you. That's our treat to you guys. I shouldn't even have said it. I half my mind was like, don't say it. The other half was like, say it. They'll love it. So, um, that's it right now. Let me see here. Da, 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 da. Okay. Okay. All right. So, if you guys got any questions, please let me know. What do you think Hot Springs is going to get? Let's go back over that real quick in here. I'm waiting to see what the high-risk name is going to do real quick. So, okay, it's still at 30 hours out. Okay, so meantime, while we're waiting on that, let's go back to our graphics here. So we're going to take this off for just a bit, and we're going to go back to our accumulation map here. So there's timing. I want to go over that real quickly. No changes, by the way. You know, it's 3 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The updated is at 9 o'clock. That tells you how frequently we change these mountain guys, these graphics. We don't change them much because we're pretty confident on timing. Now, Western Arkansas may need to be tweaked a little bit, but still a general 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the start. Keep in mind, this is going to drag all night, Saturday night and early Sunday morning. This is just the start time frame for Arkansas, okay? 12 p.m. to 6 for Southwest, Central, and the Northeastern Arkansas. 6 p.m. in Northeast, 12 in Southwest, and then 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Southwest to Northeast, across Southwest to Southeast, excuse me, across Arkansas here. So, timing is going to be shifted just a little bit. I'm going to tweak it just a tad. But that's why we have at this point here. Now, as a matter of fact, Blake, I saw it earlier. I don't know who posted it on Twitter. Somebody was talking about the potential of thunder snow up there in northwestern Arkansas for tomorrow. Wait and see on that. We'll see. Northwest Arkansas, you're still great. I mean, you're great to go for tomorrow, okay? Matter of fact, trends hold. I wouldn't be shocked to see a winter storm warning up there. Okay, so Northwest Arkansas is still great to go. What is look for Independence County? I've got it up at this point, so we're gonna go back to the accumulations here. So there's current the current alerts right now. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me double check something here. Okay, so I'm double checking and making sure that it didn't. Okay, all right, we're good. All right, we're good. So those advisories are still in effect. And those areas, I was trying to make sure it didn't extend the winter storm watch with that. But there's your accumulation map right here. So Independence County up here, 3 inches of snow at this point, 2 to 3 across the area. This may be tweaked a little bit, but I still think we got a good reading on tomorrow here. So that's what we got at this point. Hot Springs, same thing. There's a map up at this time. I'm looking at the NAM and I'm waiting for it to come up. At this point, while I'm waiting for the 18C guys to come up, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. The LZK continues the winter storm watch, valid for tomorrow a.m. at 6 all the way to 6 a.m. on Sunday for Baxter, Boone, Claiborne, Fulton, Independence, Izard, Jackson, Lawrence, Marion, Newton, Randolph, Searcy, Sharp, Stone, and Van Buren, White, and Woodruff counties in Arkansas. So it still continues it until 6 a.m. on Sunday here. So they're looking at everything right now. I wouldn't be shocked with the afternoon. With the afternoon changeover, they should be issuing more watches and stuff as we get later into the evening here. So will Independence County be under winter storm warning? Still remains to be seen right now. I think so, but it just depends on what guidance is what to do in terms of transitioning you guys over, because the problem I have with you guys right now is if you guys transition over later, it's going to cut into your accumulations. Okay, so we're going to see it right now, but 3 to 6 is a good call across northeastern Arkansas. 2 to 3 widespread, 1 to 2 south, and then a half an inch to an inch across southern Arkansas. Okay, keep in mind, southern Arkansas, that half an inch to 1 inch may go away as well. So there's another update that's going to come out with this accumulation map. Okay, so just keep that in mind at this point. We don't like changing these maps per guidance. I don't deal with it. I change it per trends. I get to the afternoon, see where we are, see if there's any tweaks that needs to be made, and then we go from there. So Let me see here. You said that it's out. That's Michael, dude. That's why I like WeatherCod over freaking WeatherBell, because WeatherBell sometimes is much slower. With it, it's only about 53% out, so it's not totally out yet. But I'm gonna take a look at it real quick. So, okay. Ooh. Oh. Oh. I think y'all gonna like this. I think I think y'all are gonna like this. Let's go take a look at it real quick. Okay. This is the 18Z NAM, by the way. All right. So I back this up. There's your low here, northeast Texas. Upper level low is coming down. There's your upper level low here. Okay. So upper level low is traveling down. Okay. And then your surface low is moving due east. Okay. Across North Louisiana. There's your snow beginning going across northwestern Arkansas. All right. Let's take this out a little bit. Okay. So there's NAM. Now here's staying. So forward. Southwest Arkansas, you transition over right around noon. So there may be some tweaks with the timing map here if you were to go with NAM, but we'll see. There's surface low here. Northeast winds with the surface low. There's your upper level low here as well. So northeast wind surface, southeast winds aloft, upslope effect over there in northwestern Arkansas. That area will have to be watched as well. Okay. And then by the time we get towards Saturday night, this is where I'm starting to kind of see what's going on here. I'm kind of seeing it writing on the wall. So the 18Z NAM is doing something very interesting that I hadn't seen in quite a while here in Arkansas. It has the upper level low in northeastern Texas. So somebody made this comment earlier. I totally forgot who you were who made this comment about this thing slowing down, potentially stalling out. I think that's what the NAM is trying to do. Because see, look, your upper level low goes from Oklahoma to northeast Texas by 6 p.m. So it's in Oklahoma by Saturday morning. It's just now in northeast Texas by 6 p.m. I think what's going on here is the NAM model is beginning to slow this down. I'm going to tell you something right now. If this thing slows down, the trend starts slowing down, your accumulations are going to go up significantly. So we'll watch it. It's 18Z, one run. But look at the banding setting up across much of Arkansas. I mean, it's almost including the entire state at this point. So the NAM model, really our best friend here. Surface low down here in northern Mississippi. Well, not northern Mississippi, southern Mississippi, northern Gulf. Upper level low pivoting through across north central Louisiana. Really banking the snow. There's your banding, by the way, from Little Rock to, I would say, Lonoke County over here to Memphis, up towards Jonesboro. And then it finally gets out of here. As a matter of fact, tries to transition you guys back over to a little bit of sleet. I don't buy that, but we'll see. But it kind of hangs on to this until Sunday evening here. So it's definitely interesting. It's a definitely interesting run from the NAM. I want to see what it does for accumulations here. I'm kind of scared to see accumulations here. Let's see what it does. See what the totals are. Jeez. Good night. Boy, it slams much of Arkansas. Higher elevations, a foot of snow. 5 inches here in central, up there in northeastern Arkansas. So NAM is the giving bear. It's like everybody gets snow with the NAM. All right, South Arkansas, I still think your total was a little bit underdone down there. I would think probably close to an inch down there in southwestern Arkansas, but we'll see. Funny thing is, I saw that comment. It rhymes with Cam. Funny thing is, the NAM is one of my favorites, especially with winter weather. Severe weather, different story, but it's actually one of my favorite models for winter weather here. If I were to choose between all of them, but that's what it does here. Allison, let me see if let me zoom in. The problem is with freaking WeatherBell, it's not wanting to catch up. This is where Weather.com kind of superiors over WeatherBell here, but you can see what I'm talking about here with the NAM. It's loading up, by the way. Let's go to Arkansas real quickly here. Let's zoom in and talk about these totals real fast here. So everybody that's needing information, go check out the page. Everything you need to know is going to be on the page here. I've been live for almost an hour now, by the way. So let me see here. Da. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna go over to how far is that? Okay, it's out to Sunday. Sunday, great. So here's the accumulations. You were to go with the 18Z NAM. Okay, still think it's a little bit underdone in Central Arkansas, but we'll see. It's about 2 to 3 inches of snow here in Central. It blows up the higher elevations of Western Arkansas here with a foot of snow out there, and then over here it really takes off across the area here. So in general, 4 to 8 inches of snow across the area if you go with the NAM. Now, Andrea, I don't want you buying this right now. This is why I'm saying this. Everybody's seen this, and they're saying, oh, man, snow is going to take off. Foot of snow is coming our way. Don't buy the NAM. I know it's exciting. I know it's exciting. But don't buy accumulations right now. It's just a glimpse of what guidance is trying to do here. But I think finally we have a good answer on what to expect here in Arkansas here. Now, a foot of snow is overdoing it a bit, but upslope effect, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not comfortable going higher with not higher than 8 inches in some places here, but we'll see. I may have to tweak this at this point here, but it's zoomed in to the best of its ability, guys. I can't zoom it in even further than this, but that's what it does. I mean, it really, 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 really takes it off across the area here. And then some place over here, White County, almost an inch of snow here. Independence County as well. Allison, NAM is really your best friend with the snow here. So this is what we got at this point. So kind of reiterating everything. The potential winter storm is there for tomorrow. I fully expect the watches to get further south. I fully expect the viruses coming out, etc. I do think the NAM is doing a good job with the system. I think the Euro is doing a good job with the system as well. Let's take a look at the high-res NAM. And the high-res NAM is what I call the mesoscale NAM. Basically, it's the HR version of the NAM. That's the simplest way I can put it right now. So let's go here. It's another reason why I like Weather Bell's graphics, by the way. So shout out to Weather Bell. Let me see here. So this is what it's doing. Okay. So you can see what it's doing here. Now, I don't think it's going to cut off in northern Arkansas. I think there's a little bit of disagreement. See the precipitation type real quick. Okay, so there it is at this point here. So if you're a model enthusiast, use precip type. Use precip type. Do not use the composite radar because it's going to pick up the heaviest bands. It's not going to pick up the lowest ones. So use precip type if you're using this. But anyways, that's what it does. I mean, the high-res NAM is it's absolutely beautiful. It's basically got the entire state seeing snow here. Now, what it begins to do is cutting off northern Arkansas. And when I mean northern Arkansas, I mean the far 2 rows of counties in northern Arkansas. That's like Harrison, the Mount Home area here. But you guys will see snow throughout the day on Saturday. Okay? So your event's going to come to an end Saturday night, where Arkansas's event's going to be picking up during Saturday evening and Saturday night into the overnight hours on Sunday. Another thing that's helping us here in Arkansas in terms of accumulation, no sun. You want this thing coming in during the overnight hours if you want snow accumulation because of the fact that this will help accumulations and you won't have the sun angle melting the accumulations down during the day. So that's what's screwing you guys over here in northern Arkansas. You're seeing it during the day, whereas central and south Arkansas has the better advantage of seeing this during the nighttime where it's much colder. The CAA takes effect, the nocturnal cooling effect takes place across the year here, and that's where you really start seeing things take off here. So, Amanda, great question. How bad do you think travel will be impacted? I think travel right now, especially Sunday morning, is going to be pretty hazardous across the state. We won't have to watch that closer here, but I think like most of the roads will probably be snow covered. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, the road's too warm and stuff like that. Yes, they're warm. The problem is, guys, everybody's underestimating these heavier bands. These heavier bands are going to make or break this system. Okay, so keep that in mind for tomorrow here. So, remember for a sec. Jeff, that comment, that's funny. Been on live for an hour and a half now, and I still have 300 viewers. That's great. That's pretty great. So, Donna, if you're just now tuning in, I call her Mama Donna, by the way. Nobody else gets to call her that. That's my privilege. But she's tuning in over there in Eastern Arkansas, getting you a heads up. overnight into Sunday morning. We'll have to watch that closely. But I think you'll start seeing heavy snow over there in eastern Arkansas. So just keep that in mind over there in eastern Arkansas here. So I never understood the warmer temperatures models are putting out with 30-mile-per-hour winds. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. I knew I was forgetting something. Let's talk about that real quick before I head off of here. Okay? This is Saturday night. We're going to load, or you're going to load, or you're going to load. Any day now, any day now. Thank you. Just going to tell you this. Your criteria for a blizzard is 35-mile-per-hour winds sustained for 3 hours. You got near 50 in eastern Arkansas. You get that sustained for 3 hours, somebody may see blizzard conditions over there for your name. It's a wait and see. It is a very, very wait and see here. But thank you for bringing that up. A lot of wind with this system. 30 to 40 mile per hour winds. The NAM model woke up with violence today. It woke up with some serious violence. Now, what do I mean about the heavy bands? Basically, what I mean by heavy bands is basically it's like, how can I put it? During a flooding event, with the heavier rainfall bands that you see setting up, basically in those areas that you get under a band, think of it as like you're getting under a thunderstorm. Some areas may not see a lot, but if you get under a thunderstorm or something like that, that's where you get the heavier rainfall, right? So the heavier bands are kind of taking that effect. It's not thunderstorms, by the way, but it's just saying if you're in one of those heavier bands, that's where your accumulations can really start piling up. So just keep that in mind. Michael, it's almost there. I mean, you have to have blizzard conditions here in Arkansas. It's 35-mile-per-hour winds for a 3-hour or more sustained period. Like, you cannot go away from this at any point for 3 hours straight. It has to be a consistent 30, 40-mile-per-hour wind gust for more than 3 hours. That's how you get that blizzard criteria here. But it's a wait and see. I mean, and I honestly would not be shocked with this wind, by the way. There's a lot of pressure gradient with this system. So let's talk about that real quickly here. So apparent temperature, 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. Snow's coming down. Wind chills in the teens and 20s. You go NAM. So the NAM model is like, it's waking up with violence, man. It's waking up with some serious violence. So, let me see here. At the beginning of the stream, you said something about not the only thing you're watching. What do you mean by that? There's NetSuite system that I'm watching. There's NetSuite system I'm watching. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. It's much colder and it's going to come down as we get towards the middle to late part of this upcoming week. And guidance is kind of hinting at the potential of a Gulf flow next weekend and could have the potential winter weather in our forecast as we get towards next weekend. So it's still a wait and see. But we'll watch this closely here. So let me see here. I saw that comment. So hold on. How confident are you of this, about all of this? Like, if you had to put any money on it, what would you guess? I got $20. I'm pretty confident in it. I think it'll do just fine here. So let me see here. Okay, so yeah, I think yeah, I'm pretty confident in that in this happening. I'm pretty confident. I'd put a bet down on it that it would happen. I should say that. Let's see here. So, sir, seeing those heavier bands, Janine, it's a wait and see. Sometimes you don't know about those heavier bands until it literally happens. So that's something that we're watching. We're going to watch very closely here. But the NAM model, and I know I've been kind of back and forth, kind of hugging the NAM model so much, but it's doing wonderful with this system. It's hinting at everything. And basically what I mean by these heavier bands, I can show you just in this sample real quick. Okay? These areas where you see the banding kind of setting up, kind of the streets that you're seeing, those are the heavy bands that you have to watch. That's what I mean by heavy bands. That's what we have to watch closely here. So come on, Camden needs like 3 to 5 inches of snow down there. Unfortunately, I cannot make that happen. Now, John, here's going to be the funny part. The Gulf flow next weekend I've been down in El Dorado before. I've seen those setups before where the golf low develops, and it's a Central and South Arkansas event. So we're going to watch that close for next weekend, but this is not our only shot for snow across Arkansas. I think we went from all severe weather last month. Now we're talking about winter weather this month. So it's been a very, very weird winter for us here in Arkansas, but whenever winter's not weird for us here in the natural state here. So yeah, it definitely did come in like a lion, I promise you. So I love y'all too. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know I've been on here for about an hour and a half. Might as well, it's what, 2:30 now. Might as well just stay on to 3. It'd be okay. Just going over all the questions here. So I'm just kind of having this up right now, getting you all the questions answered and everything at this point. Independence County rate and see right now. Instead of 4, the heavier bands you do not know setting up until probably day 1. That's something that you have to watch with radar. I mean, something that you physically got to watch during the event. When I talk about heavier bands, I'm saying the reason why to watch them is because if you get under them, that's where accumulations can start piling up. So that's why I'm saying don't take the name on it with the absolute certainty right now, but it's still wait and see. Not concerned about freezing rain, although not a textbook blizzard conditions with 20 plus mile per hour sustained would even 20 plus for a sustained amount of time worsen or improve conditions worsen. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this is a heavy, wet snow coming down. It's not going to be dry snow. If it was dry snow, it would be too big of a deal. But this is heavy, wet snow. So you get wind with heavy, wet snow. Math equation. Wind, heavy, wet snow equals power outages. So we'll watch that close. Still wait and see. But I do not like those 20, 30 mile per hour wind gusts with the heavier rain, not rainfall, heavier snow potentially with that. So let's see here. John, we had like 16 inches of snow last year about the same time frame. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Arkansas weather can get very crazy here. So Conway, same thing, same thinking. All you're thinking. So before you guys are just tuning in, all the information is on the page. Leave us a like, a follow. Let's get that going, guys. We keep you guys informed here. So, matter of fact, I saw that one comment. Casey, it feels like a snow hurricane here. You should have saw this system back when it was out in the East Pacific. I mean, this thing looked like a legit tropical system. As a matter of fact, the first recon that went out there was the National Hurricane Center. The hurricane hunters went out and got this system sampled. So that, I'm not saying this is tropical. This has no tropical characteristics, by the way. But that tells you the power of this system here. It legit looked like a full-on tropical system in the East Pacific when it was coming on shore earlier on. And you guys saw that with the live stream a couple of days ago at this point here. So, yeah, I remember the NAM. It had 2 feet of snow. It's not going to do that, folks. This is not going to be a February repeat. I know a lot of people were expecting that. It's not going to be a February repeat. And I promise you it's not. Now, my luck, we're going to get to Sunday, and I'm going to bite those words. That's gonna be my luck. So I don't think it's going to be that, but it's a wait and see. Y'all rock. Even with the kids, love watching y'all. Great interaction. What you do, that's why we do these live streams, guys. We all about the interaction. With this. So, Michael, I appreciate that comment. Do you think Central Arkansas has the potential of seeing thunder snow? Now, that's been the #1 term over the last couple of days is the thunder snow criteria. Now, let's talk about that real quickly while I have you guys on here for another 30 minutes. I'm on here for until 3 o'clock, by the way. So, any questions, anything you need to ask, you got till 3 o'clock to ask, and then 3 o'clock I'm hopping off. So, right now, let's talk about the thundersnow potential, okay? When you're looking for the potential thundersnow, first of all, I'm going to take a look at this real quick. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good on that. But basically, what you're looking for in terms of thundersnow, you're looking at the surface-based cape. Now, matter of fact, let's take this over to COD, because I think COD has a better parameters in this than Weatherbell does. So, let's talk about that real quickly here. So we're going to use what's called a most unstable cape. Basically, this is cape aloft. All right. And you see what happens here. Now, this is getting into Saturday night here, okay? So this is Saturday night across this area. So the purple that you're seeing is the aloft instability coming into the place. So this is the reason why the NAM's trying to throw out, first of all, sleet. But I cannot rule out in this general area, if you go with the NAM, that's Metro, that's Little Rock, that's El Dorado, and then this is Southeast Arkansas down here, okay? I cannot rule out maybe a rumble of thunder or even a lightning strike with that. That's a lot of aloft instability coming in with this system, okay? There's a lot of instability with this. Fortunately for us, and fortunately for the Southeast, it's not a lot of instability. It's just enough to spark up thunderstorms over there. It's not enough for severe weather, okay? So the general rule of thumb, whenever you're looking for the potential of thunder snow, is you want the instability aloft to be kind of right around that 50 to 100 joules area here. And that's Little Rock. This is down in Magnolia. That's El Dorado, Camden over here. Cross it towards Lake Village, and then up towards Helena, West Helena here. So you see the tongue of instability coming in. And another thing we're going to watch, and this is a meteorological term, by the way. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, thank you for that. I have a problem with pronunciation. I appreciate that. If I ever mispronounce y'all's names, please correct me, because I try my best to learn everybody's names on here. So, let me see here. There's your instability here. So that's the area I'm watching. That's the rule of thumb. If you go with the high res NAM. Let's talk about the HR for just a bit. Nice. I'm here till 3 o'clock, by the way. 3 o'clock, I'm getting off of here. But oh boy, I'm gonna talk. Derek's gonna have fun with this one. Derek's gonna have fun with this. I've seen this setup before. Southeast wind, aloft coming in with temperatures 30, 32 degrees. It's not strong either. It's just enough. Somebody may get lucky down here in Southeast Arkansas. You may see a couple of rumbles of thunder, maybe a lightning strike or two as we get towards late Saturday night and early Sunday morning. Now we go from the Metro, I-40, south and east. This exact same thing happened back in February, where we had the instability kind of coming into southeastern Arkansas, and there was reports of thunder snow down there. So that's what we're watching at this point. I don't think it's going to be anything of significance. It's not going to be a widespread thunder snow area here, but you can see what the NAM's doing. That area of purple here, that's the area you're going to have to watch very closely. And this is a aloft instability, by the way. All right, so that's something that we're going to watch very closely here. But 200, 300 over here, guys, that's more than enough for thunder. You only need 50 to 100 to get thunderstorms. That's it. That's all you need. You start talking 100 to 200, that's where you start talking about a couple of rumbles of thunder, maybe a lightning strike or two, and that would really help. That's why I'm saying Eastern Arkansas. That would really help with your accumulations too. So if you guys see that tomorrow night and first thing Sunday morning, send the videos. I promise you, we would love to see them. So let's see here. Trust y'all's forecast, because you're always right when others defer. Tammy, that's why we're here. I mean, it's not to bash anybody else. I think everybody else is trying to do the best job as physically possible, but it's something that, the rule of thumb whenever we're looking at these types of setups, you don't want to go strictly off of guidance. It's gonna stab you in the back every 5 seconds. You want to go off of experience, what the setup is, what are we looking at, etc. And this right here can throw a big wrench in your forecast. This can throw a big wrench in your forecast here. So what I'm going to do for a second, I'm going to pull up a sounding, okay? And this is going to get confusing for a bit, all right? First of all, this is sounding. This is Southeast Arkansas. So this, first of all, it's 45 degrees, okay? So I believe those might be thunderstorms over there. I'm going to double check the precipitation real quickly here. So I'm going to go back to the precipitation type here. Yeah, I know it kind of looks like a thunder. Kind of looks like a dinosaur, I know. I'm going to double check something real quick. Line this up real fast here. So we're going to go to most unstable. real quickly here. So, okay, so what it does is it has a rumble of thunder down here during the early evening here. Now, we'll have to watch that close. Okay, so that's what it's doing here. So we'll watch that very closely here, but my problem is this here in the metro. I'm gonna go to the metro real quick. Let's talk about that. Now, everybody's seen that one cape. I know it's like, why am I even talking about it? Well, the problem is this: you may have the potential of seeing maybe a rumble thunder or two with these storms here. It's a lot that we're gonna be looking at tomorrow. Okay, so there's the metro, 41 degrees. It's right around 6 p.m. Instability sits. Okay, so first of all, your aloft temperatures are going to start crashing. All right, I'm going to take this out a little bit into. Let's take this out to probably about 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. Okay, take a sounding for it here in the metro. So about 24 to 30 joules. That's enough for maybe a rumble thunder here and there. And you get, by the way, if you get that, that will help with your accumulations. Independence County, and they said for it, do not focus on just the heavier band, guys. I know everybody wants the higher end of snow accumulations here, but don't focus on that. That's a day one thing. There's your temperatures here. So first of all, I'm gonna switch the color here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So there's a lot of moisture, low level. Okay, 500 millibar. There's some dry air, but it's not a lot. Okay, so this is what you have to watch very closely. But my concern is these numbers down here. Now it's like 1, 2 here and there, but that's all you need for maybe a rumble thunder with this here. So it's just something we're gonna watch. It's a wait and see. It's a wait and see right now. And I know there's some folks, Jennifer. I know there's some folks that want lower end too. We got to admit to both. People want either high end or low end snow totals. So just like I said before, don't focus on the heavier snow bands on this. Just focus on the fact that you may have some rumbles of thunder tomorrow night because you got instability about 3, 5-ish. Not terribly there, but it's there. So we'll see. Okay, so let me see here. Let's go over here. So this is a NAM. The NAM has Independence County. Okay, okay, all right. I misread that. I was like, there's no way the NAM has under an inch of snow in Independence County here. It has, yeah, NAM is showing it in Independence County, but it's a way to see. Yeah, Lee, you're correct about that. I completely misread your comment. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. What am I looking at here? So, please go over again where your snowball will be. I'm in Russellville. Let's go back over that real quick in here because it's about 2:48. I'm staying on here till 3 o'clock, and then I'm hopping off of here. So let's get rid of this for just a bit. Let's go back over it real fast. And this is just kind of give everybody a brief view of what to expect as we get towards tomorrow. I'm going back over here. I'm trying to find it, guys. Freaking technology, I swear. There it is. All right, so there it is. So there's possible snowfall accumulation. Now, keep in mind, this is going to change. Not much, but it's going to change, and it's going to be worked on as soon as this live stream is over. So look out for another update 4:35ish this evening. I'm probably going to forego forecast tonight because I think with the winter storm coming, etc., all focus needs to be on that. So I'm probably going to forecast 7-day forecast for tonight. Just completely forego it and just give you guys updates on this tonight. We'll worry about next week's threat once we get past this event here, but I think you guys need all the information you can get with this event. So I'm going to forego the forecast tonight, and we're just going to see updates regarding the winter weather here. So good time. Yeah, perfect time. Allison, I'm going to get to your photo, by the way. Thank you for sending me that photo. She took a photo of her wearing our hoodie, and I'm going to post it on the page. Show you guys what our hoodies look like. It's really, really cool, and you guys can enjoy it here. So, let me see here. I know a lot of people for the kiddos. Know a lot for the kiddos. They want a lot of snow here. Please just tell us which part it's getting at least 5 inches of snow. That's the area, guys. So, let's therefore don't focus on the heavier amounts. Just focus on the fact that everybody's at least getting the potential of snow. Okay, I think everybody has the potential of seeing snow, but it's still a wait and see at this point. Okay, Jennifer, will there be a warm front that comes through after this? Wondering how long, whatever, will it get to stick around? Yes, it will, but it won't get here till Tuesday. Much of the day on Sunday, excuse me, much of the day on Sunday, you should be good in terms of accumulation. It just depends on how warm temperatures get. And also, I don't buy the 40s on Sunday. And you saw that with the forecast. I think we'll probably be in the 20s. I'm going to actually look at the NAM real quick and talk about that. Yeah, temperatures on Sunday here. It gets us up into the 40s, especially across southern Arkansas here, but I still think that's a little too warm here. You're going to have to wait and see on all that. But, yeah, the warm front doesn't get here until Monday, Tuesday-ish, and then we're back in the 60s, and then we cool right back down. So, no wonder why everybody's getting sick this time around here. So, when will the accumulating snow start up there in Fayetteville? Probably first thing in the morning up there in Fayetteville. Guidance is really heating on, starting you guys off there first thing in the morning here. So, no updates for the winter storm watch out right now. We'll be here all evening long, keeping you guys updated. Okay, I'm gonna stay here for a little longer, so 3 o'clock. Okay, and then I'm hopping off. All right, so I've been live for about going on approaching 2 hours now, and we still have 200 people on here. That I appreciate you guys for being here that long. Everybody, they see this live stream, they'll see it, and then it just goes from there. This is why I want you guys to be here, because you get all your information here. So Carroll County, up here in northwestern Arkansas, 3 to 6, higher elevation is going to be your best friend. Supposed to drive to Fayetteville in the morning. I would do it tonight. I would go ahead and get it done tonight up there in Fayetteville, because I got to get started and get started early up there in Fayetteville. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to be tweaking these timing maps, etc. here. Also, I'm going to attempt to get a futurecast out on our YouTube page as well. So, I've been talking about independence all for the last 15 minutes. Everything you need to know is going to be on the page. Okay, 3 inches of snow is the current area. Right now, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not comfortable going 4 to 8. Guidance has been doing this. We're going 4 to 8, and I've been pushing the hand away. I haven't gone 4 to 8 yet. Will that change? Keep an eye on it. We'll see. So, all right, let's see here. Just tune in. Southern Faulkner County timeline. Let's go timeline real quick. Let's talk about that while I'm still here. Okay. Let me see here. And you're perfectly fine. I know everybody got confused and stuff. You're fine. If y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. We don't bash people here, stuff like that, unless it's absolutely necessary. But we don't bash people for their questions here, because everybody has their questions. Not everybody, understands the terminology. That's why we break it down as simply as we can. That's why we have graphics like this. That way you understand where you are, etc. So, Clinton is already beginning to salt the roads. Oh boy! I'm not trying to throw shade at RDOT. I think he may be a little bit too early. Unless they have the salt that can withstand the potential of rainfall first off in the morning, I think it's a little bit too early. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd rather be safe than sorry, but I'm getting concerned about the salt in the roads here, because the problem is you're starting off with rain, and that's going to wash off. So we'll see. We'll see about that. But that is good news that they're at least starting to salt the roads. So that's good news. Not throwing any shade or anything at them. I'm worried. I'm worried that you're going to get rainfall first off, and you're salting the roads, and it's going to wash away, and you're going to have a bigger road problem. So that's something to watch out for too here. That's the biggest issue when you're trying to forecast this, is you're getting rain beforehand. You're not going straight to snow. You're going from rain to snow. So pre-treating the roads before the rain gets there. The rain's going to wash salt roads out, and then that'll be it. So something we'll watch closely. 5 more minutes. Any updates? Any questions? Let me know. Kiera, I've answered that question. Thanks for the timeline update. By the way, if you guys need any information, follow the page. I promise you, just follow the page. All your information you need is going to be on the page, guys. That's everything you need to know. Okay. All right. That's the information I'm wanting to hear. So basically, what they did, Perry County, they treated Highway 10 what's called a liquid mist. Basically, it's the mist that gets on the roadways, and it prevents for it being washed off. Basically, it holds in place even if you get rainfall ongoing. So That's what I was wanting to see. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Salting the roads beforehand with rain coming in is oof. But the liquid mitts will do wonderful with this event here. So when does the NAM update? The 18Z's out now. Allison, wait until 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is going to be your is going to be your time frame for the next one to come in. That's going to be the 00Z. And by then, if nothing has changed, then we will officially have a strong hold on what the system is going to do here. So, what time for White County? It's on the map. White County, right side of your screen. Okay. Thank you for the update. Let me see here. Now, by the way, also, Derek's making a great point. By the way, Derek's back. He's making a great point. The cloud cover in place right now across the area here is kind of holding temperatures. We were supposed to get into the 60s today, and we stayed in the 50s. The power of cloud cover in this area here. So, will we get an update then? Maybe. I may come to you guys at 10 o'clock tonight doing a live update. I may do that. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. It's not going to be 2 hours long. I say that now. But I may do that around 10 o'clock. But the problem is, if nothing's changed, then it kind of defeats the purpose of going live because all the forecast stuff will be out and everything by then. So, unless something significantly changes, then we'll have that on here. So, okay. So, Noah sent in, our forecaster Noah, he sent in a great photo. Basically what this is, and you'll see it, by the way, those are called gravity waves. And you go outside right now, I'm not sure if it's here in the weather center, but if you go outside right now, especially in southwest Arkansas, you see what's called gravity waves. Basically, your atmosphere is starting to become ready for the upper level low. You're starting to see the barometric change in the atmosphere. So that's what causes the gravity waves in the atmosphere. So I'm going to post that as soon as this live stream is over. Noah, thank you for the photo, by the way, here. So Southern Arkansas, Columbia County on the map, right side of your screen. Let me see here. Snow accumulation. Let's talk about that real quick. Okay. There's snowfall accumulation. Counties on the right side of the map. At this point. So that's it for all the questions right now. Double checking this right here. Yeah. Yep. That's why I like the Liberty events here. So yep. It's yep. And that's another sign that I like to see, especially with pre-winter storm. We start seeing gravity waves because the atmosphere is starting to cave to it. So everybody's wanting another live update at 10 o'clock. Now, here's the thing, okay? And I don't mind doing these live updates. Here's the thing. Two things. One, if there's no changes, it defeats the purpose of going live because you'll be talking about the same thing. So, if there's no changes, then there won't be a live stream. If there's a major change in the forecast or something like that, then that's going to be a no here. But if there's a major change, then it'll be a live stream. But I may... just because I love y'all, I may do a quick 20, 30-minute live stream. I'm going over everything, giving everybody an update. And then tonight, getting rest, and then getting ready for tomorrow here. So, Kelsey, great question here right at the minute mark. That's probably going to be the last question I get to. What makes forecasting in the South so hard and difficult, especially for winter weather? Hopefully this makes sense what I'm trying to ask here. That is a great question. The reason why it is so difficult to forecast winter weather here in the South. I mean, there's other reasons. I'm going to be nice, but there's other reasons why. But the main reason why is because of the fact of ground temperatures. What does the setup look like? You have to get a near perfect setup here in Arkansas to get winter weather, and even in the South. Okay, that's the biggest issue here. It's super hard now in the North. Almost every setup, unless it's on the Canadian border, almost every setup can support snow up there in the north. But down here in the south, we don't have that luxury because we're close to the Gulf of Mexico. So every setup we get has to be perfect. It has to align itself perfectly in order to get winter weather here in the south. Like I said, there's other reasons I'm gonna be nice for now. But Tyler, can you call into work for me tomorrow? You know what, buddy? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that for you. We'll call into work. You can just tell my boss everything you just told me. Man, first of all, where's your location? Up there. I wanna see, because if you're in Northwest Arkansas, you're like, oh boy, that's great. Will we get any ice on the roads? Problem is, I would say yeah, especially late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. It just depends on how temperatures fall throughout Saturday night, early Sunday morning here. So, let me see here. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Okay, that's it. Okay, so it's now 3:01. Okay. I'm hopping off here, guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. We'll keep you guys updated. I promise we'll keep you guys updated right here in your source for all things Arkansas weather.